I'm still managing to get comfortable with this online classrooms. Okay. Right. Yesterday I just left at heat transfer through a hollow cylinder. Right. Before starting today's class, I will revise what was done in the previous lecture. Okay. So previous lecture, mainly we derived the heat diffusion equation. Right? If you remember the heat diffusion equation, we derived it by applying law of conservation of energy to a small element, right? And we ended up with this equation. Dou x of k dou t by dou x plus dou y k dou t dou y plus dou z k dou t dou z plus q dot is equal to rho c dou t by dou t, right? And I told you this equation is very important because the whole course on conduction is going to rely on this equation. Okay, if you master this equation, and you can handle the situation for many problems. Okay, and we solved two problems: the case of steady state 1D conduction through a plane wall, and through a hollow cylinder, right? Okay, we solved the problem of steady state 1D conduction without heat generation through two geometries. First one was a plane wall and the second one was a hollow cylinder. Okay, you remember how we did? First step was to simplify the heat diffusion equation. Okay, because it's steady state, it's one dimensional, there is no heat generation. A lot of terms get cancelled here, and this complicated partial differential equation turns out to be a simple ordinary differential equation, and you were able to solve the ordinary differential equation, apply the boundary conditions, find the temperature distribution, and find the heat transfer rate, right? So let me just, for plane wall, I'll just give you the results. T was linear. Okay, the temperature distribution in the wall was linear, and if you remember, it was equal to minus T1 minus T2 by L x plus T1. Okay, if this is your wall and this is L and this is x, this end is at T1, this end is at T2, then we saw that the solution was linear. The temperature distribution was a linear profile, and then we derived the heat transfer rate. It turned out to be T1 minus T2 by L by Ka. Okay, and this I called as the thermal resistance of the plane wall. Similarly, when we applied this for a hollow cylinder, we got a logarithmic temperature distribution. T was C1 ln R plus C2. Okay, C1 and C2 we evaluated it last class, and then we tried to find the heat transfer rate. It turned out to be Ti minus To divided by ln Ro by Ri divided by 2 pi Kl. Right? I think you are not able to see what I write here. Is it?
Yes, I am not able to.
Okay, so I'll draw a line which I should not cross. Maybe this one. Can you see this line which I drew?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so the heat transfer rate, I'll write it here, was Ti minus To divided by ln Ro by Ri by 2 pi Kl. Right? And this is the thermal resistance of a hollow cylinder. And I stopped till here, right? And let us quickly revise the electrical analogy. the electrical analogy, as in electric circuits, even in thermal circuits, you have what is called a thermal resistance. Okay, and what is the driving force here? It is the temperature difference. Okay, there it was a potential difference. Now the driving force is going to be a temperature difference. And what is the quantity which flows? The quantity which flows is the heat. Okay, we call it as the heat transfer. And this is going to be RTH. And the relation between these three quantities is Q is equal to delta T by RTH. And the biggest advantage of electrical analogy is when you have composite systems, when two or more walls are connected in series or in parallel, you will be able to tackle the problem very easily. Okay. Otherwise, conventionally, if you take the governing equation, apply the boundary conditions and solve, it's going to be tedious. Okay. That is the major advantage, major simplification of using this electrical analogy. Okay. And R thermal, you have to remember these values of R thermal for a plane wall and for a hollow cylinder and so on. Okay. R thermal for a plane wall was L by Ka for a plane wall. R thermal for a hollow cylinder was ln Ro by Ri by 2 pi Kl. This is for a hollow cylinder. Okay. And I am going to give you some work, okay, which you can do it later. You derive what is the RTH for a sphere, for a hollow sphere. Okay, so this is going to be a homework for you, right? So you go ahead, take the heat diffusion equation in spherical coordinates, apply the same the assumptions, okay, 1D steady state without any internal generation, then you will get an ordinary differential equation, solve it, apply boundary conditions, and then find the heat transfer rate. Then write the heat transfer rate in this form, and then you find the thermal resistance for a hollow sphere. Is that okay? Right. Now I'll move on to solve one gate problem, okay, before I move on to the next topic.